This is Josh for WashingtonHotlist.com. One reason why I'm definitely not aligning myself with any major party, and I haven't for years, is because, you know what, on certain issues they're different, but when it really comes down to it, on a lot of big issues, including this one, they're exactly the same. Earmarks. The practice of taking little spending bills and inserting little line items so that your home district can get a quid pro quo out of you being in office. Kind of like a legalized bribery. Say, vote for me, here's my earmark. Well, you know what? Today, the Congress, democratically controlled Congress, the one that promised to come in and say, we're changing the way we're doing business in Washington, D.C., well, guess what? They haven't changed a thing in this regard. $153 million going to earmarks alone. Little pet projects so that lawmakers can say, look, re-elect me, I got you this. Re-elect me, I got you that. $153 million. I mean, we are in debt over $8 trillion. We're deficit spending? $153 million for this? I mean, give me a break. I mean, I know they passed a law last year that Obama supported putting on a website, but how about we pass a law saying that you have no more earmarks when you're running a federal budget deficit? I mean, what we really need to do is have a balanced budget amendment like almost every state does. I believe 42 states have a provision in their state's constitution that the government cannot run out of deficit or a surplus. They should be balanced. And the federal government should adopt that. But in the meantime, take your $153 million and put it back where it belongs. Put it into education, put it into cleaning up the environment, put it into homeland security, border security, anything, national security. I mean, anything, but giving it away to your districts. I mean, the election isn't until next year. Give it a break. Why don't you be responsible? Why don't you do something differently instead of doing the same old, same old? You wonder why the Democrats have taken over office and the congressional approval rating right now is hovering around 28%. I mean, it's pathetic. You guys were elected to end the war in Iraq and you haven't, and that's why your approval rating has plummeted, and this is definitely not going to help. So take your $153 million, give it back to the people, or spend it where you really need to spend it on, not just, you know, give backs to your districts to say they re-elect you next year. So, earmark reform, I'm going to keep harping on it because this is a huge thing where congressmen just take advantage of our taxpayer dollars without our consent. It's slipped into bills secretly and quietly, and people just vote on it. And if you vote against it, they'll have it in these troop spending bills. I'll say, you don't want to support the troops? Who can forget John Kerry's famous line, I voted for the $87 billion before I voted against it? Well, a lot of people don't realize that out of that $87 billion, I believe $20 billion was givebacks to Halliburton. So the earmark reform has to come, and the earmark practice itself has to be eliminated. And I don't know if that's going to take an act of Congress or just an act of the people saying we don't want this anymore. So what a waste. $8 trillion in debt, $153 million for nothing. This is Josh for WashingtonHotlist.com.